The internet, social media, and destructive addictions such as porn are keeping you from remembering what you truly desire out of life, and I wouldn't be surprised if at this point you don't even know what your true core values are. So let's help you find them. By definition, a core value is a fundamental belief that guides an individual, and if you don't have one or you don't follow it, then it's easy to feel lost or as if you're floating through life. For example, my ideal self is someone who doesn't get distracted for hours a day on TikTok. My ideal self spends that time building something for a better future or simply indulging in an activity that they enjoy. Or another example, my ideal self doesn't give up at the first obstacle he encounters because my ideal self pushes through failure. These are just two small examples, but to find and cultivate a good set of core values, it takes some trial and error, and obviously a lot of time. So how does one find their own core values? The answer is by first finding a life purpose and walking backwards from there. Think about it. If your life's purpose is to become rich and famous, then ask yourself, what can you do every day and waking moment to reach that goal? And that's how you get the core values to live by. And I know that by asking you to find the purpose of life, I've given you an insane burden. But let's reframe it a little bit. Yeah, the purpose of life is a question philosophers have been dwelling on for as long as time itself. But here we're not trying to answer a general question. You just need to find your own purpose, the one thing you want to dedicate your entire life to, the thing which creates a burning desire in you to wake up every morning and go and chase it. Simple, right? Of course, it's a huge challenge in and of itself, but if you don't have an answer yet, then it's all right. I can assure you it is worth pursuing, and here are a few tips that helped me find my own purpose. You can start by getting bored. At the risk of sounding like some corny productivity videos, this is really important. Avoid scrolling, YouTube, music, audiobooks, video games, porn, and other distractions. Stop trying to be productive all the time and listening to podcasts or music while you're doing boring chores. Instead, I want you to sit with your thoughts and see what arises. So stop listening to audiobooks and podcasts while you clean your room or doing chores or other boring stuff. Sit with your thoughts for a while or risk drifting through life. Take a mindful shit, for example. No phone. It's just not gonna come out without TikTok. My second tip is to explore the world around you. Walk, drive, see some nature, pay attention to your emotions while doing so. You can find out a lot about yourself by mindfully exploring your surroundings. Take a walk out, no thoughts, just absorb everything and make sense of it later. This is how I found out that I don't want to live in a city, and instead I prefer a quieter, slower pace of life. Maybe you're gonna find out that you want to move to an even bigger city. I'm not gonna know, so you must try it out and see for yourself. But first, let me stop you right there. If you've been watching this far, please consider subscribing to the channel and check out all my links down in the descriptions that help support the channel. Thank you. Now the third tip kind of goes hand in hand with the first one. I want you to spend a lot of time alone and doing nothing. It's when I'm bored that I get ideas on what I would rather like to do, and it's always some sort of creative stuff. Yeah, my head goes instantly to TikTok, but if I were to act as if it didn't exist, then my first urge would be to create something. Now maybe for you that's something else, like I don't know, building a chair from scratch, going out to take pictures of the sky. Only you can know what you truly desire out of life. And I understand if you can find your purpose with my methods, which is why I compiled this handy list right here so that you can check it out and find your life purpose. So good luck with that. Now, once you've found life purpose and you found out your core values, how do you actually stick to them day to day and not drift again? I'm gonna premise this by saying that this is a really hard transition, because in order to stick to your core values, you will need to reframe your life. And you're gonna have to sacrifice a whole lot that your current self likes to do. You're gonna have to stop drifting through life and take control, act mindfully and in line with your ideals. People who deal with addictions such as pornography or excessive social media use usually have a harder time leaving behind their addiction because they don't have a life purpose or a life worth living. So in order to reach your goals, you really need to leave behind some of these things. And if you have no purpose, no goal to reach, no ideal to strive for, then all you can do is indulge in the never-ending supply of cheap dopamine and heavy slop. Be it fast food, TikTok, alcohol, it's all the same because it makes your life worse and it wastes your time away. So if you want to come on top of it, you first must recognize your purpose and then work towards it. One exercise that I like to do is to make it a habit of thinking, is my ideal self doing this right now? And whenever you want to throw away another day and indulge in your addictions, think about this phrase and if it matches with your goals and life purpose. And now for the third and final part of the exercise, you're gonna relapse a lot of times. Now, I'm not talking just about addictions, I'm talking about social media, just re-downloading TikTok and Instagram, getting back into the old habits like alcohol consumption and staying late at night, all the bad things that you would rather stop. And in order to help you deal with the relapse, I have a little bit of a story that kind of inspired me back in the day. And this is a story that I've heard about this vegan monk who was attending a spiritual gathering of sorts. And at the event, they served chai. And when he went to get a cup, he inadvertently put cow's milk in his chai instead of almond milk. And that's when he broke his decade-long vegan streak. And now he was devastated. He just sat there contemplating what just happened. He kept thinking that he hijacked himself by not being careful enough. And in that panic, he was thinking about just quitting being a vegan altogether. Because of a trivial mistake along the way, he was ready to give up his core value that he deeply believed in. But luckily, another spiritual teacher at the event witnessed this and he sat down with him. They went through the issue together and they came to the conclusion that we are human and we make a lot of great things, but we also make a lot of mistakes. And it's through these experiences that we get to learn and build who we are. A mistake along the way is not going to define us if we choose to right the wrong. Now, if it were for that monk to just give in and indulge into his feelings of guilt and feelings of shame or whatever he was feeling at the time, he would have just thrown away a decade long of his life for one small mistake along the way. So I want you to behave in that same vein and make a lot of mistakes. Make them fast, learn from them, and try to not make them again. And if you end up hurting someone along the way, try to right the wrong or just being a better human being in general. Life is not over, the sun will rise again, and you will wake up to live another day. So that's about it for today. If you found this video useful, please leave a like and leave a comment down below. Tell me about your experiences, your core values, and how you want to change your life. And obviously remember to subscribe, it will help me in the algorithm. I've been Arkan, thank you for watching, bye bye.